Hello my dear students, welcome all of you to our biology session. Today let us see our topic, that is heredity and evolution. Let us see the contents in this lesson. Introduction to heredity and evolution, accumulation of variation, how variation occurs in offspring, importance of variations, why variation is needed, steps which leads to variation, summary of the lesson. Let us see the introduction part. Heredity refers to the transmission of characters from parents to offsprings. This implies that from the parents to the children, offsprings are nothing but the children. So, from parents to the children, the genes are going to pass by the process called as heredity. So that we do see that heredity is denoted as the transferring of characters from parents to the offsprings here. An inherited trait is a particular genetically determined feature that distinguishes a person from the other. Here, there are some of the characters which are about to see changing from one person to the another person. As we all know that all of us are not related to the same characters. So, we do see some of the differences in the physical appearance or genetical way here. So, in regard to this inherited trait is a particular genetically, nothing but it is related to the gene which determines a feature. Feature in the sense a character here. So, that distinguishes from one person to the another person. So, if you see here, as we all are quite different, that you can just see the old people, that too especially the male and female here, and you can just see the young people over here, which are of again male and female here, which are quite different in their appearances. And if you see a girl and a boy here, as the girl is quite different and the boy is quite different here. So, if we see here, we are going to see different kinds of people which are just different in their height or personality or in any other character here. That implies our genes here. An inherited trait that children get from their parents is a genetically determined feature that make humans. So, how the human beings are about to form here? The characters, the genes which are going to transfer from the parents to the children here, that determines their character here. Nothing but the gene which is going to represent a character here. Distinguishable from person to person, as just now we have seen that how the people are quite different. So, here if we see few people, so comparatively what is the difference we are going to observe in the particular diagram is, see, as you can see a person who is going to have a black head one. So, where the other, like if at all if you see the other generation or the other side over here, you are going to observe the green color head as well as some of the yellow colored head. And if you see the genes, they are quite different in both of them. And once again, if you see in the further generation of these people, you are going to see the variations or the changes which occurs in the form of, see, the body, if you see, here you are going to see the same one, here you are going to see the same one. But whereas the head part is quite different in both the two different people here, as well as the color too. But here if you see, we are going to see the representation of quite two different colors. Like if you consider this person as a parent here, in the next generation, the half part of a particular person, like in the genes, half genes are completely transferred to one offspring, nothing but one child, and the other half are completely transferred into the another child. So, you can just see if a part here, the person, half of the body is represented as black. Here, half is represented as black. But though they are going to have some other colors like pink and blue here, they have their own genes of formation. So, this is little change which we do observe in the organisms. And at the other side, so though the head which is going to be of yellow here, see the people, the two children, whoever has formed like the offsprings here, they have both the yellow color heads. But if you see the body here, you are going to see quite different, like the same half of black and half of different color here. So that some of the change which is going to be observed. This change we are going to term it as variation. Variation in the sense, rather than the normal, the other thing which is going to form here. So as you can just see here as a green color head here, so both you do see, but here the complete transfer from the parent has occurred to one child, and you are going to see some other forming in the other child. Like we cannot say all the times that all the genes are transferring to children. So either the genes may be expressed sometimes, or sometimes some other genes may also be expressed here. That we term it as variants. One of the most common examples of heredity and evolution is the free or attached ears, which we can see around us in humans. This is one of the example which we can just see in the day-to-day life, as you are going to see many different kinds of people who are going to have quite different ears here. So if you see in the heredity and evolution here you need to remember is the changes that how they are going to form in the next generation. Like one complete generation to the another generation, what are the different changes which are going to happen here? In that, one of the example is normally attached ears, free or attached ears. So here you can just see how the ears are being attached completely. And in few people you do see free ears. See, generally you can just see here how the ears are completely attached. This is nothing but attached one, which is left over little swingingly, that is free. It's why we look like them. More specifically, it is the transmission of traits from one generation to the next. As just now I told you, traits are nothing but characters, which we are going to represent a character. This character is going to transfer from one generation to the another generation. These traits can be physical, such as eye color, blood type, or a disease, or behavioral. So how will be the character? So sometimes you may be listening that some of the diseases will be transferred from the parents to the children or offsprings here. Why? Because genetically they are about to transfer from the parents to the children here. So in that case here, the characters which are going to transfer may be of different. We cannot say that exactly the same character is about to be transferred here. Especially if you see physical, like appearance, the way you are going to appear or resemble to the parents, such as eye color. So as you all know that the color of the eye, blood type or a disease generally related to some of the diseases as just now I told you, or the similarity of the blood grouping also you can take an example here, or behavioral. So some times we do see that the behavioral of the child is similar to the father or to the mother. So in that way, why they are going to behave as same is the characters has been transferred to the children. For example, the hygienic behavior of honeybees that drives them to remove sick larvae from the nest is inherited behavior. This is one of the example here, where these honeybees are going to drive, like they are going to have a hygienic behavior, that they need to put everything in a good way. As you all know that honeybees are going to produce the honey. So they remove the larvae in the sense, as you all know that how we are going to see the cocoon formation, right? So such is the larval productions here. So from the nest is inherited. So they will be removing it off. Why? Because as they cause some of the things here, they will be starting removing in order to produce the good quality one. So this is one of the small example here. So coming towards the representation here, you can just see that capital B is equal to small b and capital B at one side, and small b at one side, and small b is equal to, like here you are going to represent a person, here you are going to represent a woman, like boy and girl here. How you are going to see the changes? because of presence of the genes here. What are the genes which are going to present here in this case is B. So, where this B is going to be seen here. And the one which we are going to indicate with capital letter is considered as dominant gene. In any case, we do represent it as dominant gene. And the other gene which is going to be seen in a small letter is represented as a recessive gene. So what is this dominant and recessive? Let us see in detail in the further slides. So here you need to know few things, that the genes which are going to come from the woman are small b and capital B both. And the genes which are being coming from a particular boy, that is small b and small b. Here one gene we have dominant, here we don't have any dominant gene, both are recessive genes here. But still, if you cross these genes in the next generation, if at all if you wanted to know what are the future, like in the next generation, we are going to get some of the gametes here. Like we are going to see, first separate the genes, as this small b and this capital B we are going to write towards one side, as this is one of the table which is going to indicate the generation. So which we term this table as Punnett table. Punnett table. This Punnett table indicates the next generation of genes, and the genes which are of small b and small b has to be written towards the other side. Okay. Next, if you just indicate these are the one which we are going to represent with male and female gametes, because both the two involves in a particular generation, like in the genetics or in the variation which it leads to. Next, if you just cross this one, see, as we have small b here, as we have small b here, so the resultant gametes produced are small b, right? Next, small b here, and we are going to see small b here. So the resultant one will be small b here. Next, as we are going to see capital B here and small b here, the resultant will be capital B and small b. As we are going to see small b as well as capital B both, so it indicates capital B, small b. But what is the change here? Though the genes are quite different in both male and female or boy or girl here, we do see quite different in the appearance. Okay, as these are going to appear, see, small b, as how you are going to see change in the head structure of a particular person, the gene which it is going to show, and here small b, the other child which it is going to have the appearance of a girl but quite different, and capital B, small b both, how you can just see the represent of a child in that particular generation. And though capital B, small b, but still you do see the girl which is going to have another arrangement here. Like 4 different arrangements we are able to see here. Nothing but by the genetics, by the genes here, how we are going to see the change. How the genes are about to pass from the parents to the offspring is all indicated by this table form. This is just an example here. So let us move to the next slide.